Hello guys, we're here today to talk about the Rattan Sequoia e-bike. This is a 750 watt fat tire e-bike. It's available with dual batteries or single battery. This is the dual battery version. So let's dig into some of the features of the bike. The Rattan Sequoia has a 750 watt rear hub motor that's capable of 1,000 watts of output. It's got a 8-speed Shimano pedal driveline with a Sunrace derailleur. It has a hydraulic damp front fork. It's got this nice big front headlight on it and some points for mounting a front basket or front rack. The Sequoia is available in a 2 battery or 1 battery version. This is the 2 battery. And you gotta note that there are on-off switches for the batteries on both batteries as well as charge ports. So you can operate one or the other battery separately or both at the same time. The bike does not come with any racks or fenders or rear light. It does have mounts on the frame for rear rack. There is wiring in the bike for a rear light if you felt like putting one on. There's a wire coming off the controller. It has a fairly standard seat. The Sequoia is a step-through frame. As you can see with the second battery in it, takes up most of the step-through area. So if you plan on buying it because you want to step through, probably don't get the second battery, especially if you're a shorter rider. But normal, taller adults, got 5'8" or higher adult would have no problem getting over top of this battery and getting on and off the bike just fine. But keep in mind, it does kind of take some of the space from the step-through away. The batteries are UL listed, both of them, and they do have kind of a little... They do have a function here where you can see the battery level from the battery too, in addition to the controller. Let's talk about the controls. It's got a fairly standard 5-button controller on it and a thumb throttle. We'll power it back up. You can see in the display, it'll show you the wattage you're seeing plus the speed you're going. It has a percentage for the battery left. You can see a few different things. That the trip is right now, the odometer, max speed, average speed, time. So it gives you a few different pieces of information, and you have the PAS level you're in right now, which is 0 through 5. And there's also, by holding the I button down, you can get in eco, normal, or sport mode, which does have some effect on the power level. It has hydraulic disc brakes with 180 millimeter rotors. The rear brake's a little bit squeaky, but otherwise okay. And it's got a Shimano 8-speed shifter on the front. Max speed test with the throttle, just with the factory settings in sport mode. So 32.6 miles per hour on the display. See what our max speed was on the GPS. And max on the GPS was 29.76 miles per hour. Okay, we're gonna repeat that now with pedal assist to see how fast it'll go. .28 is pretty easy, not pedaling too hard. 30.1. 31 and a half. 31.9. And we'll check and see what the GPS said. So 29.03 on the GPS. So we're just gonna check out the effect of the different pedal assist levels first. So we'll start PS1. In PS0 is obviously no assist. And throttle is not active. So PS1, let's see. It's fairly proportional feeling. You can get good power out of it if you push harder. Looked like it went out to about 600 watts. And we'll just do a quick check to see if the throttle is limited at all on PS1 or if you get full speed on any PS level. I suspect it's going to go straight to 1,000 watts. It does, so. There's no effect on the throttle from the power pedal assist. So try PS2. Definitely runs right up to 600 to 700 watts, so there's definitely more kick in 2 than there was in 1. 3, definitely feel the turbocharger going on. More kick to it. 4 gets you up to 900 watts real fast, real nice feel. And 5 is almost instant full power as soon as you start pedaling. It almost takes no effort to get the 1,000 watts out of it. So this does have 3 modes you get to. If you hold the information button down, you get sport, eco, normal. So we'll try eco to see how that feels. We'll put it in like PS2 and see how subdued it is in eco mode. Definitely some assist, but yeah, it feels quite a bit subdued compared to what it felt in the regular mode. It's not like an instant power for sure, but yeah, you get something when you're pushing on the pedal. This is PS2 in normal mode. Definitely a faster power ramp up than Eco had. You can notice the difference. And we'll throw in Sport. Okay, here's Sport, still PS2. A little bit of difference, not a ton, but there's a small noticeable amount of power pickup in Sport compared to what regular had. It didn't come as slow. There's definitely a differentiation between Eco, Normal, and Sport in the terms of how fast the power comes on. The Sequoia is a torque sensor, and I would say it's a pretty smooth feeling torque sensor. The power comes on right away as soon as you give it even a little bit of pressure on the pedal. I'd say it feels equally as smooth as, say, an Aventon torque sensor. There's probably a little bit more differentiation in the pedal assist levels here than what Aventon has, which is good because you can almost barely tell the difference on those bikes. But overall smoothness, I'd rate it very well, very good. We're gonna do a little off-road riding with the Sequoia now. This is some kind of Jeep trail sort of stuff, double track, not mountain bike trail, but a little bit more severe than just dirt roads. So we'll go have some fun with it here for a few minutes. So overall, the front fork is doing a decent job. It's got some damping to it. I would say a suspension seat post would be nice because this is a hardtail bike. So there isn't much give in the back unless you reduce the air pressure to the tires. Overall, pretty fun to ride in this surface though. It's like this deep grass, more fun to ride in PS5 where you get the power right away. In fact, Sport would probably be an even better setting for off-road riding. So we're gonna take it for a ride here. This is another like wooded trail. It's not a true mountain bike trail. It's just kind of a double wide path that's kind of a little windy, a few little hills, some rooted surfaces. It's gonna be really fun to ride on this bike, I think. Overall, the fork is doing a good job with the rooted surface, and the 4-inch wide tires obviously give good traction on pretty much any surface you're going to put them on. It's a little leafy today. Fortunately, it hasn't gotten cold enough. The mud hasn't really set in too much yet, which is good. Overall, this is a fun condition for this bike. So we're gonna take this on some actual mountain bike trail here for a little bit. This is not too many climbs, but kind of a little windy, flowy thing. Overall, this bike's not too long, so it's fairly nimble in this. It's actually pretty fun to ride around these corners, I'd say. I'm using PS3 right now in sport mode, which is kind of just enough boost to make it fun coming out of the corner without giving too much kick to the bike to keep it under control. The pedals are a little bit low if you lean the bike too much in the corners. I've felt pedals hit the ground a few times in here so far. I took the bike for a couple of standard tests we do with every e-bike. The first is our hill climb test. We do this with a half-mile hill with some 10% grades and use a 250-pound rider. We do the test twice, once with throttle and once with the maximum pedal assist. For throttle only, the bike took 1 minute and 47 seconds to go up the hill. For comparison, an Aventon Adventure 2 took 1 minute and 53 seconds, and a Hemingway Zebra D5 took 1 minute and 57 seconds, so 147 is a pretty fast time up the hill compared to most other fat tire e-bikes. We did the test again with pedal assist. The Sequoia took 1 minute and 38 seconds, and for reference, an Adventure 2 on pedal assist took 1 minute and 50 seconds, and a Hemingway Zebra D5 took 1 minute and 52 seconds, so overall, the Sequoia is a very fast bike for hill climbs. Next, we did a range test with the bike. For this, we use a route that has some steep hills on it. We use a 250-pound rider. We ride the bike as close to 15 miles an hour as possible. We do the test twice, once with pedal assist only and once using throttle only. For pedal assist, we use kind of medium setting. So for the Sequoia, we used one battery for the range test, and we got 50.5 miles for pedal assist. For reference, an Aventon Adventure 2 did 44 miles, and a Hemingway Zebra D5 did 63 miles. We repeated the test again using throttle only, going as close to 15 miles an hour as possible. The Sequoia got 41.3 miles, and for reference, using throttle only, the Adventure 2 got 35.1 miles, and the Hemingway Zebra got 41.6. Now, the Sequoia has dual batteries. Both batteries are 20 amp hour with the same kind of cells in, so they should both give you roughly the same amount of range. So this means the dual battery Sequoia would have a potential range of 101 miles using pedal assist or 82.6 miles using throttle only if you fully drain 2 batteries on it. So let's talk about the lights in the Sequoia for a second. The Sequoia just has a headlight, you can see here. It does have a dedicated on-off button for the lights. There's no tail light on the bike, so it's dark in the back end. So just all we've got is kind of a basic light. It is a big beam, but you can see here it's kind of got this cage around it. Cage is kind of like a aesthetic thing to make it look like it's got a brush guard or something around it. It does do a really good job of blocking the light. So you can see the light pattern because of the cage. You see all the blacked out area. So this light would actually work much better if that cage plastic was not on there. You get a way kind of clear big beam, but because of it, it kind of gets in the way. Let's talk about assembly next. The bike comes in a large cardboard shipping container. It takes maybe 40 minutes to get it ready to go from opening the box to ready to ride. There really isn't that much to do because the bike doesn't have fenders or a rack or anything else. It's kind of a plain bike as far as that goes, so it makes the assembly faster too. Whereas you just have to put the handlebars on, put the pedals on, and then mount the front light, and that's basically all there is to it. They give you enough tools to do the assembly without really any difficulty. The dual battery does come as a separate item by itself in a separate box. You do have to assemble that. That only takes maybe another extra half an hour for it. The hardest part's fishing the wire down the frame tube. After you've done that, everything else is easy. I'll put a link below for the instructions for the dual battery pack. It doesn't come with any out of the box. My Sequoia came with an incorrect controller installed in it. This is the one that was in there. It installs inside this little black cover. So actually to replace it doesn't take that long. It's about 15 minutes. There's like 4 connectors to pop off and reconnect after you get it out. The symptoms on our bike, it wouldn't have more than 350 watts of power on pedal assist no matter what you did. So pedaling it up hills or trying to ride fast, it was just very weak on pedaling. Throttle was fine. It has 1,000 watts throttle, but pedal assist was kind of capped at 350 watts. Yeah, and this is all the help I'm getting in TS5, which is not enough. Low gear, just barely able to pedal up the hill. So it gives us throttle because we're never going to make it this hill otherwise. I had a few exchanges with Rattan customer service, and they agreed that's not right for the bike, and they sent a replacement controller, which is now installed, and it works fine after that. But if you get a Sequoia and, you know, when you go to use pedal assist and you're like in level 5 and you only have 350 watts, no matter how hard you push the pedal, it does not have the right controller in it. So contact customer service so you can get a replacement, so you can get the bike that, you know, has the power and speed that you want it to have. Let's talk about some likes and dislikes of the Sequoia. Probably the best thing about the Sequoia is the fact that you can get it with the 2-battery option. It does require a little bit of assembly, but it's not too bad. But that gives you up to 100 miles range in realistic riding. If you're going to go slow and easy on it, probably closer to 150. The bike is very fast. It will do over 30 miles an hour on both throttle and pedal assist just with the factory settings. So it is a very fast bike if you want one that's not handicapped back to 20 miles an hour or limited to the normal class 1, 2, 3 speed limits. This bike will go faster. You can set it slower in the menu. It's kind of a basic bike because it doesn't have any racks and fenders. So if you don't want any extras on the bike, you just want something basic, powerful with long range, this is a great choice. Let's talk about some of the dislikes of the Sequoia. Probably the weirdest thing about this is just getting on and off the bike because of the battery pack, which kind of gets in the way of the step through, which is a problem with the dual battery. It's going to outweigh by the advantages. My biggest dislike about the bike functionality wise is just the light. This little plastic cage they put in front, which kind of looks nifty, really messes up the light pattern when you're actually using it at night. The back end of the bike is a little stiff feeling, so suspension seat posts would really help if you're riding on bumpy surfaces a lot. There's no rear light included with the bike. It's just kind of a bare back end on this bike. Again, there is a wire on the controller for adding a rear light, which you'd have to run out the back through the same passageway as the motor and then mount it up here somewhere. You could add a rear light if you wanted one, if you want to just go buy one off Amazon, but there's no rear light included. You can find some links below for getting the Rattan Sequoia. Thanks for watching, everyone. Please hit the like and subscribe so you can get our future updates.